Okay, so in my last blog, I ended chapter 1 with how I started a pretend label called Catharsis Records and why I needed to do this. Basically, I couldn't get to the record labels. Peter had told me that record companies only want to deal with managers, not artists. Managers only want to deal with artists who are already on labels, so it's this catch-22 thing. The other thing that I figured out on my own that no one said to me was that record companies like to talk to other record companies, mostly because everyone is kind of trying to find artists, and they feel like if another label is interested in an artist, there kind of must be something there. They don't want to seem like they weren't on it, that they didn't also consider that artist. So basically, they talk to each other, and they'll jump on acts if somebody does like it, then they'll go check it out. Basically, the art of all of this is to try to get one record company to take notice, and you know that the rest of the record companies will all follow suit, because that is the way it works. Heat seekers. So so that is the biggest reason why I put together this pretend label. So I had to take all the CDs out of the padded envelopes that I had sent and then got returned to me by these nasty record companies. Sent a cover letter with my letterhead, now Catharsis Records. The thing that I needed to do that I didn't realize was I need to have a staff, or a pretend staff. And I don't have a staff because I don't really have a label. So I decided to create one. I needed a point person. And I decided to pretend to be this point person as well. I needed to come up with a name of the owner of Catharsis Records. So I was going through names in my head, and I knew that I wanted to use the initial K pretty much in everything that I was doing at this point. It was my mother's first initial, her name. Our last name is Katsoudas, starts with a K. So I knew that somehow I wanted a K in there. And so then the last name basically came up to me, which is just K, like Mary Kay. K. K-A-Y-E, just to be different. And I needed a first name that was, powerful but not overwhelming. Feminine but not, weak. So I had gone through different names and stuff, and I wanted to keep my first initial, Stella, and so I was going through Sonia, which was beautiful, but I thought too exotic. Cheryl, which is beautiful, but seemed to be like Cheryl Teagues, like a supermodel, beautiful, that kind of thing. It's too beautiful. And then I don't know, it just came to me, Sarah. Sarah's a great name. Strong but pretty, to the point, short and pronounceable, recognizable, easy to remember. Sarah Kay. That was my new name as the owner of Catharsis Records. I mean, I wasn't dealing with these people in person. I was dealing with them on the phone. So I kind of had to come up with a whole persona to it. I mean, down to a different voice. So this is how I did this. I had to pretend to be Pete. How would Peter talk on the phone if he was talking to a record label? What would be his tone of voice? That kind of thing. This guy really was a mentor for sure. So, I mean, I went through a few different things. Okay, I'm Sarah Kay. I'm Sarah Kay. I'm Sarah Kay. Hi, this is Sarah. No. Hi, this is Sarah Kay. No, way too like chirpy. What would Peter do? Peter would just be himself. Okay. Hi, I'm Sarah Kay. I own a record company, independent label here in Chicago. We just signed an act called Sister Soleil, and they're getting a lot of attention out here. You know, I'll send you their CD if you're interested. You should check it out. Surprisingly, every person, well, first of all, I got through the Nazi receptionist. All these record companies have like the Nazi receptionist that will not even let you get to the A&R people. But if you call them and say, this is Sarah Kay from Catharsis Records, it's a whole different thing. I mean, back then it was. It's different now. I think people have caught on. So I would get through to these A&R people that seemed to be untouchable before. It was kind of nerve-wracking, you know, and I had to continue being Sarah Kay. So I sent a lot of those packages back out, and you know, I got a lot of calls back. I had to change my outgoing message on my answering machine, which was in this little tiny studio apartment that I lived in. And I worked a full-time job, but I had to have an outgoing message that said, hi, you've reached Catharsis Records, leave a message, we will get back to you as soon as possible. That kind of thing. And, you know, so I would get calls from, I was a nanny on, on the side, so I would get these job calls from, you know, potential nanny jobs, and people going, I don't think that we reached the right person. We're looking for Stella to babysit, you know. And my father would call and he'd be like, this is your father, call me back. What's this Sarah Kay crap, you know? And so, but anyway, I did get responses, and they liked it. But then they wanted to do something which I hadn't thought of yet, which was to see the band live. I don't have a band. I have a record and I don't have a band, but they can't know that. So, as Sarah Kay would say, you know, well, you know, we're showcasing them in 8 weeks, and we're still working out the venue, but we, you know, solidify the showcase. We'll give you a call and let you know where and when. And a lot of them said that they were going to come. Oh my God. So I didn't know what to do. I had friends in Chicago that were all musicians, and I just kind of like, I need you to do this for me. I need you to pretend that you are a band, Sister Soleil, and learn these 7 songs and play a showcase for a label that doesn't exist, and don't tell anybody. So anyway, I did get these people together, and they kind of saved my butt. They were good too. I didn't expect that. The band was pretty good, and it was gonna be a first show for this showcase. I needed a venue, and I met this great guy, again, a friend of Peter's. His name was Joe, and he owned this awesome, and still does, venue in Chicago, and it was called back then the Chicago Metro. I think it's just called Metro now. And it was like the place to play. Smashing Pumpkins, Liz Phair, Urge Overkill, Material Issue, Veruca Salt, anybody that was cool and hip and played the Metro. It was kind of like the CBGBs of Chicago, you know? Beautiful venue and a kind of refurbished theater and 2-level, big stage, incredible sound system. It was the ideal place to showcase. So I had a meeting with Joe. He took a meeting, and I begged him to let me do a showcase at the Metro, which was like a 1,200 capacity venue. So it was a pretty hard venue to fill. It was huge. And he said, all right, I'll put a bill together for you. We'll bill it as Catharsis Records Showcase. And, you know, he's like, do you even have a band? And I was like, yeah, we're great. So I got my date, you know. Joe gave me